You either die a hero or you live long enough to see yourself become the villain. Nothing more suits this franchise and the Harry Potter world at large than that line from The Dark Knight. Let me take you back to the 2010s. The world was engulfed in the wizarding world of Harry Potter. It was everything that Star Wars dreamed of being: coherent storytelling, great action, compelling storylines, believable characters, a fight between good and evil, dark and light, gratifying payoff. It brought a whole generation towards books and great cinema, a generation that otherwise would have probably been lost in the internet. I truly believe the literary and cinematic education of children born in the 90s who grew up with these books and these movies is next level. Like, just Prisoner of Azkaban is a work of art, both on print and on screen. And then a few weeks ago, Warner Brothers announced that they're axing the Fantastic Beasts series. They wanted to focus more on Harry Potter films. So I had a question: where did it all fall off? And it falls off with her. And not so much because of the tweets, although we will get to those. J.K. Rowling, however prolific she is, decided to add screenwriter onto her resume. She wrote the screenplay for all 3 movies. Screenwriter and novelist don't really go together. I mean, you could ask Fitzgerald about it. In the 20s, he went through a big radical change where his career almost ended because he decided to write for Hollywood. And in the 80s, it got Stephen King as well. It sent him into a cocaine-infused frenzy. The design of writing a movie and writing a novel is completely different. A novel, you can pack a lot of exposition. With film, you can't really do that. It becomes instantly boring. The show don't tell rule really applies to screenwriting, and you really have to apply that rule, otherwise your films become stale. A reader is a lot more forgiving when it comes to exposition, but not a viewer though. In movies, you don't have that kind of real estate. It's a visual medium, it demands to be seen. And JK really lacked the element of visual storytelling. That's something she wasn't really good at. And trust me, it's not easy. Just with these videos, I'm struggling all the time. I can write a coherent, well-to-do short story in about an hour, but these scripts take sometimes days for me to construct. And the next problem was just the story of it all. The fact that after Harry Potter, JK and Warner Brothers wanted to tell this story, the Fantastic Beasts story, is still appalling to me. Anyone was paying attention to any of the fans, this is not what we asked for. But that being said, if that's what Warner Brothers wanted to do, then they should have had a clear plan for it. This franchise started off as a harmless adventure story with Newt Scamander chasing weird animals or weird creatures across the wizarding world. Cool, fun. And then suddenly, it turned into Grindelwald versus Dumbledore's past versus, just became something that it really wasn't from the start. Which, by the way, was my problem with all of the Star Wars movies, but we don't have to get into that right now. Somewhere along the line, it turned into let's tell a story about Dumbledore and Grindelwald, but let's not really involve Dumbledore in a lot of it, so Dumbledore won't actually be able to do stuff. But let's tell that story, and no one knows why. The target kept moving. Speaking of moving, let's talk about the myriad of actors that played Grindelwald. The first movie had a polyjuice potion overdosed Grindelwald with Colin Farrell, but it was a nice little twist. And then we got Johnny Depp as Grindelwald, which I really personally liked. I think he was a great kooky Grindelwald. And then all of this happened. And then we got Mads Mikkelsen as Grindelwald, who was actually also very good. 1 character, 3 actors, all of them good. And finally, after a bunch of meandering plot expositions and plot points going from here and there and running around from this movie to that movie, it kind of just ended. After main characters became side characters, became completely gone for whole chunks of movies, coming back near the end. When I came to the end of that movie, the 3rd one, I positively knew there's no way they're making another one. It kind of neatly or messily wrapped itself to a close quite well. And the actors started distancing themselves from JK. After her tweets that were considered transphobic for a lot of people just didn't want to work with her. And she would not stop tweeting. I think that really damaged the franchise a lot. The only thing that could have saved the franchise if there was a mega hit movie on the line, and that didn't happen. And with that ended a beautiful, lasting affair with the Harry Potter and the Wizarding world. And it turned into a stain on the beautiful legacy that Harry Potter had left behind. So where do we go from here? Let's go back to something familiar. We all want a Mooney, Wormtail, Padfoot, and Prong story. Like, everybody's asking for it. Go to the Reddit boards, go to the message boards, go to the fan clubs, search Twitter. That's what everybody wants. Maybe an HBO show limited series with 10 episodes would probably be the answer to that. I mean, with so many fans castings as such, like, it's just the hype is there. You just got to capitalize on it. I think this franchise is better off if they go with something like that series, the Marauders map series. That's something that the fans will immediately sink their teeth into. As a proud Hufflepuff, it makes me sad that Newt Scamander got this series to represent him, but I have hope for the future. The Wizarding World is fresh, and it is a flushed out world that just needs more stories to be told in it. I don't give up on the Wizarding World just as yet. Thank you guys for watching my video. My name was Nazra Sayed. If you guys enjoyed this video, if you guys have thoughts about the Wizarding World as well, where the franchise should go next, please leave a comment below. I'd love to hear what you guys have to say about that. If you guys want to know what else I'm doing, I have a new poetry collection out very soon. I have a newsletter down below. Everything that I'm up to will be in the descriptions box below, so take a peek there. With that being said, enjoy the rest of your day. I'll see you guys in the next video. Cheers.